Hi, welcome to my tube. Margie, sometimes standing turtle. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things, and being a Heyoka empath, you're always feeling some kind of way. I like to believe that being a human being or a spirit, having a human experience, people are always feeling some kind of way. But what I find out the older I get is some people just don't feel. They just don't feel emotions. They just don't feel and process things the way that others do. See, because we're full spectrum. Everybody is just one full color wheel palette. And I see for every color, there's an emotion tied to that color. Some people are colorblind. Some people only see in grays and blacks and whites. Some people only see in pastels. Some people only see in like frequency, heat, like predator, you know. People do all kinds. Some people see things in all kind, like all of them, full spectrum. I like to think I'm full spectrum. See, I allowed my eyes to see things from very, very young age, 15. You know, the government did their own studies. Well, I conducted my own. I was always more of a freelance because they always just come up with stupid ideas and that are weird. They just have people do weird stuff like, let's see if we can control somebody and interject data into and play out, make sure all the music is making them sad all the time and do this, and then see if we can get them to freaking get sad enough to freaking wipe people out. They used to call it postal. Now everybody's postal. It's cognitive dissonance. It's when you can't hold your own emotions. When your emotions get so big that your spirit can understands what's going on because it's always been a part of you, but your physical body can't process. Some people do it, and it happens in extreme cases of trauma. And I know a lot of people that have never, ever, ever had any trauma in their life, and for them, I think that's almost more to a detriment because you can't escape life without trauma, so you can put it off. And especially if you've been living from ego and you've been creating trauma in other people's lives, you really ain't gonna avoid it. That's when like people don't want to stand next to you because fucking lightning is gonna strike your ass and shit. When people have made themselves these cushy lives, man. I try to make myself a cushy life. I'm comfortable. I'm content. And Mom's very content. We laugh a lot. We have our little talks throughout the day about things, and we just laugh a lot. There's a lot of outside noise. It's the 3rd of July. I hate fireworks. I fucking hate fireworks. I'm not free. I don't feel free today. I don't feel free about nothing today. And I have a feeling that I'm not the only one that feels that way, and that more and more people are feeling that way. And quite frankly, if you're looking for trouble, you're going out this weekend, you're going to find it. See, my whole life, the authority figure, the antagonist, the vibrational frequency that just is going to make an example out of you, Margie. We're going to make you know how many examples have been made out of me? But you know what? Anything anybody's done has never ever gotten the same consequence that I have. It's just always like people like to put me in my place, so they freaking treat me extra shitty. It's happened my whole life, dude. I'm not even like one of those like, oh, everybody's no, it's not even like that. I'm saying the situations in my life, sometimes I have looked at listened to the conversations I'm having with people, and I'm like, I would never ever speak to another human being the way that is, and then I started realizing that's why they do it. Is because people aren't going to fire back. They're not going to clap back. But people right now, their cognitive dissonance is at such an extreme high level that people they don't get their baseline. See, if you look at a heartbeat, you have a baseline. And then for extreme situations, it goes up and then it goes back down below the baseline. I'm often saying mind the dip. And then there's the second wave. That's what we're seeing now. Then it goes, and then it levels out, and then it pauses. That's where you dial into your ego or your spirit, and then the cycle returns until you take your last breath. And so many people are they're operating at a level down up here. Everybody's operating up here. Everybody's up here. Everybody, you know, it doesn't matter where you go, it doesn't matter where you live. Because you're on the planet, you're feeling, you may not have anxiety in your life, like I don't have anxiety in my life, but I'll be damned every freaking day I wake up and I'm like trying to calibrate because I'm feeling everything on the 45th parallel all the way up all around the world, and whatever latitude too. I'm dialing into all the people that are of my frequency, you know, and I'm full spectrum, so that's a broad range. So we got all the low dirty shit all the way up to the freaking service for everyone. Service before self. Being a selfish being, because, you know, we get plenty of examples of what it is, what the selfish are. I mean, look at all the areas. I was going down an ant hole before I started this talk. I was like, because I get these the qualifications that I get these job notifications, you know, for my background, you know, but I got to make my tribe bigger. If I had freaking a roommate or two that we could do a rotation, just someone's always with mom, then yeah, I could go fucking work 16 goddamn hour days every day of the week. You know? I could. But sometimes people in life, they have nobody. Nobody. I got nobody on this planet to come in, and neither does anybody else, and that's what they're figuring out. You got nobody to come in and save your ass. You understand? Nobody's gonna do it. So if you're scared right now, don't go out looking for trouble because you're scared and you're mad. Stay the fuck home. Listen to a goddamn binaural beat and meditate for an hour. Just lay there and be still. And listen to music for an hour. And not move a muscle. And just feel the vibrational frequencies of your body. Do that for an hour every day. If everybody did that for 10, 15 minutes every day, if they knew what peace felt like, maybe they could take a little bit of that with them out into the universe and spread that peace out into the world. But no, everybody's offended. And as everybody listen to me, and I have something to say, and oh, I'm so important, and fuck your Teslas and your Audis and your BMWs and your frickin' studios and your reindeer games. Fuck all that. You know, so I got a job notification today of a Department of Interior. Well, what's that about? Department of Interior. Well, they do all the Indians, the Native American stuff. They make sure, you know how much they pay themselves to do that? Well, the pay scale on this one, U.S. Department of Interior, their pay scale is $109,000 to $142,000 a year. That office employs about 70,000 employees. But their budget? That's the part that, it's 20 million. Is it million or billion? Let's just verify that. Maybe I still have it on this end. It is, 20.7 billion, and that was in the year 2013. You see, that's what people are figuring out. There's enough money for everybody. It's just the creepy perverts at the top are keeping it all for themselves in their good old boy clubs, and their egos, they don't spin wisely. If you look at my project in my folder about why I don't have water, I don't have running water, if you look at that project, I must have taken hundreds of pictures. I have videos of the cranes bringing in the big pieces. It's a C- high school project. It was like some city planner got CAD, graduated. Dad got him a job at the city planner's office, said, "Okay, boy, make me proud now." Did this shit. My water usage went on them watering weeds. 3 years later, they never came back to get the sprinkler system because they watered it every summer for months on a automated system. And they shut my water off because the city don't carry it. They keep collecting, they keep adding to your bill, but they disconnect your services. And then a couple months ago, I even got a notice that, under this extreme times, we're not going to disrupt anybody's service. Well, can I get grandfathered on that? Because it's been 3 years now. But they quit coming and they just go on to other projects and they create cognitive dissonance and they pay themselves these budgets. And it's just like, can I get $1,200 a month? Because I hurt myself when I was in the Air Force. And I'm extra sensitive now because they freaking shot me with the anthrax vax, and a lot of veterans that, are extra sensitive now because of this, because they put formaldehyde in it, and then they give you 6 shots because Big Pharma has to profit. So if you just put 6 shots in everybody, think about in all the military members, and anthrax isn't even real. I mean, if it's made in the lab, you got the vaccine. It's just all for profit, and you ruin people's lives every day. And then they have the 4th of July, boom, pops now. Ooh, yay, fireworks! It's symbolism. You are symbolizing the same mind space of what soldiers have been asked to do because they're just doing their job for years and years, of going to other countries when they're told there's a threat, and then they get there and they find out, dude, we're the fucking threat, shit. And they're like, kill, they're all the threat, They're all the threat. You're in their fucking house shitting on their floor. What the fuck do you think they're gonna do? You know what I mean? So all that, it's all karma. This whole country was raped and pillaged and taken from my ancestors, and my ancestors aren't just, because their borders aren't real. Egos make borders. Spirits are borderless. They have boundaries and they're respectful. Egos do kids. Egos drink blood, sacrifice, do anything for money, do all that satanic, ritualistic money. The egos sell their soul. Spirit, they don't need money. So either people are coming into, hey, you want to live in ego, that's cool. Just know that there's consequences to that. Just like there's consequences of living in spirit. It can be very, very lonely living in spirit. People don't think like me a lot. I mean, yeah, every now and again I can dip into 3D world, Like today I did laundry. I had a mask on. I had it freaking. I never wore one before. I wouldn't say I wore one today. I had my earphones on and I had it hooked on one ear, and then I had it draped over this side over here, and I'm like, how am I doing? You guys feel better about things now? I'm just like, I haven't had water in 3 years, but God bless you for wearing a mask for me, God damn it. Praise baby Jesus. Hey, I'm here to say, Jesus Christ, he might have been a man that walked on the earth. He probably was, Lots of people name their kid Jesus because they want him to act like that, and then they dip a little bit more into the ego because they think the good stuff is going to save them, and then there's a lot of fallen angels named Jesus too, I'm for certain. Tucker verifies with his snore. But what happens is, as soon as he took his last breath, he did it twice. He took his last breath twice. He reincarnated as an Aries sun. Anyway, I believe our spirits go out into the solar system and then hang out with our celestial family, our beings, our same freak tribe, same frequency tribe, and then they just hang out there, and then they're like, all right, what do we want to do next? Let's reincarnate as, Wonder Twin powers activate in the form of a bucket of ice, See, I wish I want people to go back and watch the same stuff that I watched when I was a kid. You'll get the same kind of programming. Oh, that makes sense. The Justice League, I always believe that's real. Our celestial beings, brothers and sisters. Why do human beings think that we live on a rock in Earth, but everything off of it is alien? But we are not? I have the ability of telekinesis. I think more and more people should try it. I learned it from watching a YouTube video. I get it from my mom. Mom can do it too. You balance it real good. These lighters are kind of empty, but I can do it. I do it in real life for people often. Because you're cooperating with the fluid inside. Anyway, I can put it in your hand and then I had a couple people that are like, oh, they're moving their hand trying to get it to not roll off, you know? And I was just like, at one girl, she's a Virgo, she's like, I'm going to keep you from rolling. I'm like, you're not keeping me from doing what I can do. You're just delaying the progress. Just like egos do, the progress in people, you know? They just like to, yeah, I see what you could do, but I'm going to do this just to ruin what you can do because that's what egos do, and then this is the world we get. We got a freaking creepy world, man. But people are going to start stepping into their spirit because it just don't feel good to act like a jerk. It physically taxes people. It downright freaking makes people sick. That's why so many people are fat, have cancer, are freaking dying because they're just mad all the time. I know this. I lived it. I lived in anger. I still can. Every day. I resist or try not to resist. It's a weird kind of thing because it's just like, just whatever happens, just don't get that spark. Don't get that combustion. I'm Mary's son. It's hard for me to do, but thankfully, the older I get, I'm stepping more into my cancer rising and stuff, you know. How long have I in? 16 minutes. I wore this t-shirt today. I haven't worn this t-shirt. I've worn this t-shirt maybe 4 times, and I got it back in 1999, 98. My friend, girl I used to know, worked at the Sacramento Zoo, and I thought it would be appropriate to go out in my mask today. It says Sacramento Zoo, and then it says, you can't see it. It says monkey see, monkey do, but the do is poop. The do is poop. Monkey see, monkey do, and the do is poop. That's why I wore it, because I think everybody looks like monkeys. I think everybody looks like a monkey with their mask on. I just can't believe it. I just go out and I'm just like, it is such a trip to just live in a world where and people are like so unhealthy and so just unhealthy because of all the freaking crap choices they make in their everyday diets of just being gluttonous and stuff. And I've been that person too, you know. God, man, I've been a drunk, sloppy, freaking falling down, messy, freaking like the kind of drunk that like people can't believe the stuff I've done. Like walking down the, you know, having a conversation, being about 3 pitchers of beer in and a couple of freaking Long Island iced teas, you know, celebrating a birthday, and just walking and then just going, excuse me a minute, and then just puking, wiping off my face and going, proceed? Because it's like, I'm so full, it's not funny, it really isn't, to be that belligerent and that coherent at the same time. But that's what alcohol does to people like me. It removes my spirit, it takes my spirit away, and then ego stuff comes in. And then the ego stuff comes in, I think everybody likes me, you know, and if they didn't like me, they should respect me. I start, you know, don't they know who I am? I start getting all that stuff. That's all the stuff that I freaking makes my third eye twitch when I see it in other people, when I'm more balanced in my spirit. But, you know, my ego, it ain't ever gonna, your ego ain't never gonna die. The way I look at egos are like your demons. You don't freaking kill them, you just make nice with them, and then, you know, when you know that they're gonna be flaring, give them a little extra attention, the positive kind. And, you know, there's all kinds of ways that people are dealing with with past hurts, and a lot of stuff is coming up because all this stuff is in the news. People are like, oh shit, that happened to me. Oh God, preacher touched me. Oh God, dad did. Oh God, that was my story. But people have blocked it out. They just have lied to themselves by just denying the truth of the reality of their life. And then they're not only doing it in this incarnation, but their spirits are waking up and they're realizing that they've been living a perpetuated lie, incarnation after incarnation after incarnation, because we live to experience, to live, get closer to spirit, and to shed your ego more, to keep your ego in check. Egos are important. If egos didn't existed, a surgeon couldn't cut into a person or an animal to heal it. I couldn't do these talks because I would just be, oh God, nobody's gonna ever watch them and blah, blah, all that. That's all self-centered fear. The other parts of ego. But people they're dropping the fear. They're releasing all that stuff, and they're not believing so much of the stuff that they see on the interwebs and the tubes, and I'm trying to stay off social media, so I don't really know what's going on in the whole world. I know what's going on in the astrology. I know what I know about people by the history. I also know people can also change, and I think that a lot of shifts are coming in, a lot of shifts are changing, so people are really coming into their spirit in a way that they ain't never did before. They've never come into I'm seeing things, I think people are going to be okay. I think things are going to be okay. It's just going to get Babylon for a while. It's just going to get real gross. And it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. Every human being, we're autonomous spirits. We have free will. It's just the egos that are so bruised and so hurt and so neglected that never learned how to soothe themselves. They're the ones that are going to be going out this weekend, getting into the mix. And see what the weather's going to be, because I noticed trends like when the energy is extra kinetic, when people are extra just on fire, and like Aries just moved into Mars. It's going to be there for 6 months, and all that. It's just fire. People are fire and temper, and I see a world with anger stations, where people can go freaking into a rest stop and like throw a pie, or do something comedic just to break the tension, or have like a trampolines at the restaurant for grown-ups, not just for kids. All grown-ups are kids in old people bodies. So I'm not really even sure what the temperature is across the land. Oh, Redding's 91. Las Vegas is 102. Freaking bless Michael P. Steeler, man. I get hot looking at you. And I was in Vegas back in 2012, 13, 14, because it was the year of my 40th birthday. So 2014, and it was like 100. We walked the strip. There was people everywhere. Had my headphones on a lot of times. But it's just like, I was with my dad, my brother. We did the Grand Canyon 3 nights. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I learned lessons. I had to absolve some record. It was bittersweet. It was a wonderful, wonderful chapter of my life. I would love the opportunity to do it again, to see the stars, look up at the stars in the Grand Canyon. I know that my Earth brothers and sisters were there, because I woke up that first night. I couldn't even focus. I felt like I was drunk. I know it was just such a... Anyway, going to the Barton Ranch and just doing all of it. That's... Other than that, I don't really understand Vegas I understand the ego stuff and all the bells and whistles. I got a bunch of pictures from the top of the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that. And God, I was so fat, man. I was over 200 pounds then. I was not happy in life. And that's when I realized it. That was like the beginning of the unraveling of a more layer. But the reason why I bring this up is because right before I started this talk, Michael Peace Dealer, he's doing a reading for me on Monday. Hey Oka, I'm super excited. Anyway, he just did a daily horoscope for Cancer at 12 or 11 degrees, whichever it was today, and he's just looks so hot, and I just feel so hot for him because I just know that heat, and I'm about to go back into it, and I'm just like, oh, can I, But then I think about things of, the new ways of like, insulated thermal cooling shirts and things like that, new ideas for the new world, things that like that, because I don't have air conditioning in the big red truck, and I don't, and I've had all the cars I've had before that have air conditioning. I don't like fake air. I don't like fake things. That's when people get sick, when they mess with their thermostats, when they're, always keep everything at 78 degrees. That ain't how life works. No, energy ebbs and flows, and I've had one cold in freaking 20 years. Mom doesn't get sick. Mom has all of her own teeth. She had a stroke when she was 38 years old, 39 years old, but shit, because I make her brush her teeth every day. All right, ready to brush teeth, make her, we don't know, spit in the cup, I rinse it out outside for her, but every day. But because I left for a long time, that's the thing. Her memories are about 5 minutes, and she won't eat and she won't cook and stuff like that. So I go to work. She doesn't eat for 8 hours. Unless I come home at lunch and stuff like, she'll just be in the same. And if the internet, there's an outage and stuff like that, I just come home and she's just sitting there, just like one of the dogs. And that's not any way to treat for anyone to treat their mother. And I promised her when she had her stroke, she just said she asked that she never be put in a home. She was adopted. Came from an orphanage when she was 3. So I'm not. That's why I would rather freaking kill myself with stress of trying to keep her, of honoring my promise to her. That's why I took a $67,000 pay cut, because I thought promises were supposed to mean stuff, and then we live in a world and everybody's making promises, like, all these bros club that they just keep paying themselves, Somebody makes a friend in DC, and I want to see a country where there is no DC, where like I could be a representative of a state, of a state, and just live in my state, and I can work in, people don't. Spirits have paid too much for egos in this country, and they've been doing it for hundreds of years, and this country is literally flushing down the toilet because of the karma that is being paid back from stealing this land 500 years ago. And all the slaves, all of it. It's all of it. It's the vibration of control over the Jesus Christ consciousness vibe, where everyone is free. Because Jesus, he used to be a dude, but now he's a vibe, and people are raising in their frequency to that vibration where they legitimately know that there is enough abundance on this planet for everyone to have everything they want, because most people don't want all the stuff that the egos in DC and the governor's mansions are paying themselves. They are paying themselves $140,000, $165,000, 3 times as much as I've ever given a fuck to make, because I just always wanted just enough to get by and like maybe go on a vacation. But these egos, they just like, no, I have to make a production out of this and that. And I watched the Ghost Rider. I dig that channel. She does basically what I do, interpretations of the freaking lawyers. Fucking lawyers suck. I hope one day I meet a lawyer that doesn't suck in real life, because right now I have never, ever once met one that hasn't. Yep. So that would be like a freaking frequency I'd like, a trend I would like to see broken. Daniel's, though, I don't know how he is now. I mean, he's a cool kid, but that was before he. And I worked in law schools. You know, these are the people that don't freaking bother restarting their computer because they're that important, but they have freaking 4 windows of porn open. It's just, they're contrary. They're mostly Muslim, and they pay themselves so much. It's like, who needs that much money? I mean, how much money does a person need? I live on about less than probably 24,000 a year, probably. Yeah. I'm a veteran, disabled. I don't get what I'm worth. I don't get paid for my college education. I don't get paid for my veteran status. No, because I'm a strong personality. Because I'm a female. If I was a dude, man, I'd fucking run the world. If I had a swinging wiener. But I don't have a swinging wiener. I'm just a 5'2" little female 46-year-old woman who's seen some bullshit and is now just putting all the stuff together going, ain't that some bullshit? And well, you're kind of fucked for that, and you're kind of fucked for that, and look at you, Katie, over there. Katie Brown. Who's just keep it closed, keep it, because 213 people have died of a frickin' spam-demic. And the states that you're higher, well, your obesity numbers are higher. Your cancer, because your population, it's ratio thing, you know, but healthy people don't get sick, and that's been proven time and time again. The majority, and you know, since people care so much about majority, right? Right, equality for all. I was trying to get some quiet time with the cat this afternoon, and I must have got 5 videos of somebody freaking letting off. It wasn't hundreds, it was thousands of firecrackers. I'm talking like 15, 20 seconds of just pop, 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 and I'm just like, so when do us with post-traumatic stress? So we need to freaking sedate ourselves. We need to put, you know, hunker down our whole fucking lives, stop living free so people can live free to mimic explosions and bombings and the pageantry of killing people. Killing people. That's what fireworks, the representations of bombs. Oh yeah, yippee, killing people, freedom. I don't feel free. Does anybody else feel free? Please tell me how free you feel. I'm not feeling a whole lot of, I'm not hearing a whole, oh, I feel free. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace. Where is my button?